There's another alteration in consciousness that we can think of, hallucinating. And you might think that we might go around studying this by looking at, okay, well, what's happening to people when they're hallucinating, when they're seeing things that aren't there, as if they were dreaming, but they're awake. But actually, some neuroscientists are taking a kind of an even different approach, which is, well, how can we manipulate the brain or manipulate things that then manipulate the brain to cause people to hallucinate as they're going through a certain experience. So we have yet another video that's going to talk about the hallucination machine.
I think it'll be very interesting to see what you think of this. Hallucinations are a fantastic window into conscious perception because there is no such thing as normal perception. You know, we're hallucinating all the time. It's just that whenever we agree about a hallucination, that's what we call reality. Okay. This is called the hallucination machine.
Yeah, I can see people walking through marketplace.
So you can look all around, you can look up and down, look behind you, rotate on the chair. Yeah, just have a good look around you.
Very lively things going on.
Great.
Students are still walking around. Oh, now looks very strange. For a second, the student turned into animals. I see every student walking towards me have some sort of animal face, like a dog.
So our perception of what's out there in the world has to be a kind of best guess and inference. When we hallucinate, that just reflects what happens when this process goes awry a little bit. But the important point is that the mechanisms that generate the seemingly false perception are exactly the same mechanisms that generate what we think of as normal perception. So we can peer inside the living brain to see what's going on while people have different experiences. And this means that, to some extent, the problem is tractable, it's approachable, it's something we as scientists can look at. It doesn't mean we're going to have a eureka moment and come up with a single answer. So let's try to account for the properties of being conscious in terms of their underlying biological mechanisms. And let's see if after doing that, we still think that there is this fundamental explanatory mystery about why consciousness is part of our universe at all.
Okay, so he said something really interesting there, which is that, you know, we are looking at how is the brain producing the hallucinatory experience, but that also presumes that the brain is producing the perception that we don't call hallucination, that we could call normal reality. So that was the British neuroscientist Neil South. He has a fascinating book about the neuroscience of consciousness. And one of the lines that he repeats in there is that we're hallucinating reality all the time, meaning that our brain is engaging in as an active construction mechanism in terms of our normal conscious waking experience, as it is when we're dreaming or hallucinating or tripping. Those are different brain mechanisms, but they're still, they're no more constructions than our everyday experience.
Right, and I think it's very consistent with a lot of the things that we have learned about in this class, where it's not just our brain is like a movie camera capturing reality as it is. It's much more an active, constructive process where we are building this world in as much as in these other processes as it is in everyday life. I mean, just for an example, think of like perception, where it really feels like we're perceiving the full color palette across our whole visual field, yet we know from the research on perception that that's not true. We're only perceiving color in a very small part of it, yet we're combining it to make it feel, to creating this experience as we do in these other states.
Yeah, so you are constructing reality just as much as you are constructing a dream or a trip.